Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. And how's everyone today? It is Sunday, the 12th of February, and we are going to be looking at the games not actually technically released on Saturday, because you're not, strictly speaking, allowed to do that on Steam. But you are allowed to play around with time zones, so some games do show up as being released on Saturday, and that's the games we're going to be looking at today. There are very few of them. Only 9 of them that we can look at on Steam. Morning, CC. I hope you're doing well this morning. I know I am. All right. I'm going to start. We're probably only going to spend about half an hour on this because there's so few of them. And we are going to start with our first game, which is called Adventure Trip Amazing World 2 Collector's Edition, which is a puzzle platformer. No, you're not. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. So this looks like a hidden object game, but also has a mahjong system. That's interesting. Let's continue to be amazed by the natural and man-made wonders of the world, from the glaciers of Alaska to the vast and magnificent Sahara Desert. If you are a virtual bird, but love adventure too, this game is just for you. Alright, so it looks like they have a number of mini-games as well in this one, so kind of a pretty fully featured one. Let's see what Point 8 Games has made. Morning, MD, how's it going? Okay, so they have made... Interesting. They don't release a ton of games. I was kind of expecting to see like 70 of these, but no. Their last game was last year in November. So they do release a game every few months, and same kind of idea. Actually, I'm going to just double check to see how many sales this one made. Not many. So I'm guessing these might be mobile ports, because you don't keep doing something that doesn't make you any money. Okay, 2 people are playing it now. And it went up the 28th of January. They picked up 9 followers and no reviews. So, I'm gonna guess they're gonna sell 30 on this platform. Best of luck, Point 8 Games. So our next game is a game that, at least the name, I don't think it's this actual game, but the name has been in the news a little. This is CryptoZoo, which is named after the disastrous Logan Paul situation, which was some combination of crypto game and scheme of some sort. Anyways, it's developed and published by Ryan Bread Games and is on sale for $129. So expect comedy, everybody. Numata, hello. It's a fun game. It's a really fun game. Huh. Game Bull joystick to start with these. Wow, this actually looks like the game that CryptoZoo was supposed to be. Wild. If you want to know what I'm actually talking about and you have not followed this story, the YouTube channel CoffeeZilla has a bunch of videos where they go over what happened with this. There's also apparently a whatever this is, where you're a little truck shooting at alien invaders. Huh. And then there's a match 2 game? I don't know. Interesting. Okay, yeah, it is taking the piss. XD tokens. Haha. Smile laughing game. Not a scam. Thank you, nah. Alright, cool. So they picked up 1 positive review, no negative reviews. Let's see when this went up. Went up on the 27th of January. So only 2 weeks. What am I going to guess for this one? I think I'm also going to guess 30 for this one. No, I'll guess 60 because it is only $1. Interesting choice of a way to spend your time, Riot Bread Games. All right, moving on. To Find the Murderer 3, which is for sale for $3.50, down from $3.89. Developed and published by Ilmir Nassertinov, I think. I think I got that one right. Ilmir Nassertinov. Find the Murderer 3. Not what I was expecting. Alright. A young man has disappeared from his apartment. Detective Selyantyev begins to investigate the case, and there's a woman sitting under the stairs for some reason. I do appreciate that they're doing proper social distancing and stuff. Okay, so this is a first-person detective game, I think. Are we just gonna only see the start of the game? Interesting choice to show us a staircase for your entire trailer. Okay, and we have like big trigger volumes to go and talk to people. Did we just find the murderer in that 52-second trailer? I'm confused. Okay, we just have controls in the description. I do kind of appreciate that, but this is probably too short. There are funny moments in the game. Good to know. All right. We have one review. They aren't even trying anymore, which actually makes this the best of the trilogy. Huh. Okay, maybe there's a story behind this. Ilmir, have you made other games? Okay, so we do have Find the Murderers 1 and 2. Find the Murderer 1. Same guy. Also, still wearing his mask. That's good. I wonder what other... Stinky Poopy. Thanks, SlimeSid3. Okay. Huh. Not quite sure what I was thinking of this one. I'm going to check the charts. And game went up on the 20th of January. Okay. Picked up 6 followers and 1 positive review saying that it's very short. I think I'm going to put in 30 for that one. Not really sure what to think of this one. Best of luck, Ilmir, with your ongoing series. I'm going to move on to our next game, which is Mini Driver. Mini Driver is for sale for $3.30, down from $3.89. Developed and published by Zumeng Games or Zumeng Games. I should probably look up pronunciations for some of these. Mini Driver, super casual childhood fantasy driving game. Huh. Okay, so we're like a little toy car, I think? And we're going to drive around on tracks. Oh, it's a virtual headset game. So this is a VR driving game. Interesting choice to have no lighting. It sort of makes the ground seem like it's a little challenging to see where you are or that you're moving. No review. Here is no struggle or killing. Enjoy a pleasant time quietly. I mean, I can see the appeal of that. Alright, game went up on the 29th. And picked up 4 followers and no reviews. I think I'm also gonna put maybe 30 for that. Who knows? Best of luck, Musing Games. Moving on to our next game, which is Paranoia Party. Paranoia Party is Paranoia Party is for sale for $4.99. Developed and published by Accelerate. Accelerate. If this is a driving game, Accelerate is a very, very clever developer and publisher name. It is not a driving game. Okay, Paranoia Party, an online social deduction party game where you need to find and kill your friends that hide among a group of NPCs. Oh, okay, this is a pretend to be a robot game. I remember there was an Assassin's Creed game that came out with this kind of idea as a multiplayer game. I'm not going to count this as Hearts as Health, even though there is a heart, but there is also a bar, so it doesn't actually quite qualify. Okay. Hide the evidence. Oh, okay. They do leave. Don't get cursed. There's a curse. That's interesting. What happens when it runs out? You're not going to show me. You created a mystery. Okay. Interesting. What's the Hearts as Health reference? So I have been keeping a running tally of the number of games that use hearts as health, which is like Zelda does, where you have a number of hearts and that represents how much health you have. I just started noticing that like I was seeing 3 or 4 of them a day. So yeah, it's just a little joke for me because I see it used all the time. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? It's a good way of representing health. There is a reason that Zelda has stuck with it for so long, right? Huh. Accelerate is the winner. Well, I hope you do. Unfortunately, they did not get any reviews, so I don't think they've sold many copies. This is not a early access version. I was kind of expecting that. Most of the social deduction games release into early access. January 11th. So, I think this might be a heartbreaker. Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, this game is not particularly elaborate, so it could be constructed relatively easily. But like, they have a capsule image. Their store page is very simple, but like clearly they're doing stuff. They made a launch patch. I just don't think that whoever is behind Accelerate told many people about their game, which is a bit of a bummer because it looks like there's some cool ideas in here. I do like how they did the vision cones. Like, there's a combination of a post-processing effect over top of the vision, as well as like traced shadows, which is kind of cool. Huh. All right. Unfortunately, I'm going to guess that they sell very, very few copies of this. Kind of fewer copies than most of the other games today, because it is a multiplayer game, and people return those if they can't get into games. So I'm unfortunately only going to guess 10. Best of luck, Accelerate. I hope you find your audience. Our next game is called Parts Unknown, which is a free-to-play game created and published by Kent High and also published by Julian Buffalo. Parts Unknown is a single-player fighting game aiming to recapture the spirit of old fighting platformers with a unique twist. What's the twist? Very odd capsule image. It is two people doing a face-off, and I think this is someone like choke slamming somebody. What are you fighting for? Question mark. Good question. What's the unique twist? If you love games like Def Jam Vendetta, Street Fighter, Ready to Rumble Boxing, or Tekken, then you'll surely love this game. Inspired by classic Street fighting games. But you're just repeating this. It's an odd thing to repeat. Parts Unknown is a third-person story. Okay, there's a story here about an orphan who turns 18 and decides to fight for money to help with the upkeep of orphanages, inspired by the great wrestler Nacho Libre. Okay. The game in its current state features one open world, different fighting styles, and autosave. Okay, cool. No reviews, though. Also, the name is a little confusing. I wonder why it's called Parts Unknown. You can buy a baseball bat, apparently. Huh. Okay. Went up on the 24th of December of last year. And 9 followers. Okay. What am I going to guess for this one? This is free to play, so I'm going to say 100. People check that one out. Interesting idea, Kent High, and congratulations on making a game. Moving on to our next game, which is Pentacore. Pentacore is for sale for $12.99, developed by Jonathan Collier and Jason Martin, and published by Mithril Age. I think I know Mithril Age. I'll check them out later. Pentacore is a Metroidvania with a focus on platforming and exploration. Run, shoot, climb, and blast your way through a massive world, all in order to find 5 keys and leave your prison of a planet. Huh. Okay, we got a little person. I love their little jaunty walk. That's a really good little walk animation. That's very cool. Look at this jaunty walk. This is a space person who knows where they're going. Okay. Collect upgrades and increase your abilities and arsenal. Mithril Age is a neat studio name. I agree. Yeah, so this is looking pretty neat. Definitely like wearing its Metroid inspirations on its sleeve, but that's not a bad thing. Oh, you have a Flappy Bird form. Okay, I like that. Uncover the mystery that caused your imprisonment. Ooh, there's a giant flower. Huh, okay. Looks pretty neat. Mithril Age, have you published other games? I vaguely remember hearing about you before. No. Huh. Okay. Well, this looks like some old school fun, in my opinion. Fairly simple little store page. We don't have a demo. I think this game would really benefit from having a demo. While I like this capsule, there is the very strong trend nowadays to not have pixel art in your capsules. So this might be hurting their conversion, unfortunately, or their what do they call it? Organic search results or something like that. A couple of people have played this. Only 109 minutes in. I'm glad you keep that close track, Meggles. And I have 3 keys so far, but I've been really enjoying the gameplay. There are a couple of issues with the character running when trying to shoot, and the character continues a running animation instead. But other than that, it has been really fun. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's maybe 3 or 4 hours long. I recently picked up this platformer game on Steam, and I have to say I'm thoroughly impressed. The controls are smooth and responsive, graphics are colorful and eye-catching. I agree. They have really, really cool, simple graphics. Level design is challenging but fair. Cool. Good soundtrack. Overall, I would highly recommend this platformer game to anyone who's a fan of the genre. Very cool. And yeah, it looks like this person may have beaten it at about 3 hours, because I did this review at half an hour. I think this person is French and having a problem with the game freezing. Game has frozen 3 times in 45 minutes to play, and you lose progress. Not great. John and Jason, gotta get on that one. Make sure that it doesn't freeze for people. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this one went up a while ago. All right, this one went up on the 8th of July, 2022. So some time ago, and picked up 112 followers. Huh. That feels really low to me, and that sucks, because this looks like a really cool little game. Yeah, they're not selling very much. It looks like they did 1 festival, maybe? They did something that got them about 300 wish lists in a day or so. So whatever that did, they needed to do that again. I think they did something here. That might have been a Steam Next Fest or something. But yeah, there's a while. There are like stretches here where they're not getting anything. Huh. Bummer. Okay, I really do think that it is probably a combination of the capsule image and maybe not having a really obvious hook. I don't know. I like the retro graphics. I would think that the retro graphics would attract more attention. Bummer. Those numbers mean that they're probably not going to make a lot of money. Okay, 2 positive, 1 negative, and gosh, what am I going to guess? I'm going to guess 300, tentatively. I definitely think it deserves more, because this looks like a fun little game. All right, moving on to our next game, which is called Stay In. Stay In is for sale for $6.49, developed and published by Ill List Studio. Morning, Josuke. You're getting here right at the end. We don't have many games today. All right, Stay In. This is a casual. Why casual? Casual action horror FPS. Can you have an action horror FPS that is casual? With surprises and thrills and jump scares. Utilize a wide variety of items and actions. Wow. I am having trouble reading here. Let me try this one again. Utilize a wide variety of items and various actions to find the suitcase in the pitch dark hotel where horrifying creatures roam. We haven't seen any horrifying creatures so far. Oh, maybe we did. Ah, there's a horrifying creature. Okay. I think you're using a fire extinguisher on them? Oh, you do get a gun. Okay. Hey, you can crawl through vents. I always approve of crawling through vents. Oh, that's very unsettling, actually. Don't like that. Okay. I would say that this capsule image is making my graphic design brain unhappy with the way that the text is arranged, but you do have a monster there. It is very clear that this is a horror game, so people who are looking for those will find this game. No reviews, though. January 28th, so not much time at all. And they only picked up 6 followers. And no reviews. So I don't think this one is going to do particularly well, but I'm going to guess maybe 60. Let's check out Illis Studios. Have you made other games? No, this is your first game. All right. Well, yeah, I think that you're probably not going to sell very many copies of this one in Illis Studios. I'm going to guess maybe 60. But I am looking forward to seeing what you do next. I hope you stick with it and make more horror games. I think this one, if it had even a little bit of a story, would probably do better, because it looks like right now it's just like find a suitcase with no reason for it. But you know, if you add a little narrative to it, it doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit at the beginning and end maybe. I do think that it would be more attractive to people, because right now it's really just walk around in the dark and shoot ghouls in the head, which, you know, not saying that's a bad pastime, but people might be more inclined to do that intentionally if there was a narrative to it. And our last game is Warehouse Simulator Forklift Driver, which is developed by Andrive Worlds and Games for Games and published by the same, though in a different order, apparently. Manage specialized equipment used in warehouses and become a professional in your field. And the well-developed mechanics of the movement of specialized warehouse equipment allows you to experience the sensations of working in a warehouse without leaving your computer. Something I'm sure all of us have desired at some point. Place the goods in the right cells. I like that the popular user-defined tags for this are racing? I don't think you want to do that. Uh-oh. Okay. I mean, this is extremely specific, right? But for people who want to do this, which clearly there are some people, this looks like a good version of this game, right? It's a very weird game, not necessarily a game that I would make, but for the people who want to do this, it seems like it's pretty good. Let's see. Oh no, okay, I'm wrong, maybe. Making a racing multiplayer forklift game, and I'm in. Yeah, I would also think that would be really cool. Okay. Game sucks, controls are bad, lags hard, and there is no tutorial. Only 3 levels, don't bother with this game. It is possible that I was wrong in what I was saying before. Hit the wall, stuck in the wall, not great. Take the box, and then the box takes me to hell. Anything else is equal to soap. You can't lift it. Oh no. Okay, so these are early access reviews. This is a 1.0 release. How many updates did this get? Okay, there was 1 update. A forklift fighter would also be fun. I'm forklift certified, and you played for 70 hours. Interesting. No fork, only lift. Played for 5 minutes. What's in the game that in life is equally difficult? Huh. Okay, it seems like some people are taking the piss out of this one, but some people are actually genuinely appreciating it, and some people have had some really, really bad problems with it. Still, it is mostly positive. I am going to check their charts. Lots of little peaks here. I assume this is when it went into early access, maybe? Huh. Okie dokie. Never had a lot of people playing it at the same time, but they did pick up over 1,000 followers, which is not bad. This went up on January 28th of last year, so it was... up for a while. You can see a lot of genuine interest in this game. It looks like they did do some promotion several times. And that got them 30 positive reviews and 12 negative reviews, meaning they have probably sold about 1,200 to 2,000 copies already. I'm going to guess they probably sell 3,000 copies of this. It is a niche game, but you know, niche games sell. Actually, I was talking about this on the How to Market a Game forum this morning, because someone was saying like, "Hey, I'm trying to find out, like, I'm trying to come up with an idea for my next game. What do you think would be a good idea to make?" And I am personally in the process of doing that myself. And so I was thinking like, okay, based on everything that I've looked at, like, do I have any unique insights because I've been doing this process? And I think maybe it's just a little tweak of perspective, which is I don't think that there are games that the Steam audience likes or dislikes necessarily. I think that there are genres that are either saturated or unsaturated for the size of their audience. And this is usually related to just how hard the game is to make, right? You can make a puzzle platformer game in an afternoon, which is why everyone makes puzzle platformers when they do game jams, right? Every game jam is full of puzzle platformers and Sokoban games because you can make them very, very fast, right? And other genres that on Steam tend to do well, right? We look at this and we say like, oh, this game came out for this genre, and it sold really well, and it's usually because there aren't very many games for that genre because the genre is really hard to make, right? You can't make a colony simulator in an afternoon. That's why they're never in game jams, because they're really hard to make. You need a lot of AI, you need a lot of testing, you need a lot of components and objects and everything. So you don't make them. And it's the same thing with like 4X games and elaborate card games and city builders and stuff. We look at those and we say, oh, this genre does well on Steam. And it does well on Steam because there's like 4 of them a year because they're a huge nightmare to make. So if anyone is thinking about, what game to make, take that into consideration. Like, if you choose a genre that isn't oversaturated, there's probably a reason, right? Because other people are out here trying to make games too. And if there's like a genre where you're like, yeah, this genre is probably going to do pretty well, I feel like you might almost be better off looking for something like Warehouse Simulator Forklift Driving, which is so incredibly niche that you can make a relatively simple game for it, rather than trying to aim for a broader audience within a very difficult genre. So anyway, that's my rant for today. That's what's been on my mind this morning. I am going to grab our tags, and we can take a look at the tags, as is always not particularly illuminating. No, semicolon. There we go. All right. Dark comedy is one of our tags for this morning. Oh, wow. Okay, single player is not the top game, or is not the top this morning. It is almost the top, but it's tied with adventure, indie, and casual. So many casual games. Huh. All right. Well, that was the games not released on February 11th, but pretending to be because of Steam time zones. I hope everybody has a lovely afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Do I think there's any value to the indie tag? Right. Just before I go, do I think there's any value to the indie tag? I don't know. I think it's more of a descriptive tag, right? Like, I don't think that there's necessarily value to the adventure tag or the action tag, really. I don't think there's really value to individual tags. They're just descriptors, really. Maybe 12 years ago. Yeah, maybe 12 years ago. I don't think people go specifically looking for indie games. I think they just primarily go looking for a particular genre. So make sure your genre is in your first 5 tags. That's what I'll say. And that's me signing off.